How's everybody start to the trading year? Hopefully good. It's been some interesting moves. We also have we're going to have probably a big boost of volatility today because of the Georgia state runoff elections, which are looking like the Democrats are going to win both of the runoffs, which is interesting because they lost the original Senate races, and then but they were so close that they were due for a runoff, and it looks like the follow-up campaigning has gone in the Democrats' favor. And that's kind of big because if it ends up being that way, the main consequence for us as traders is going to be the spending bills that is going to be the spending bills that are approved because of this. These two Senate races will give the Democrats control of the Senate, the House, and the presidency. And that means there'll be no obstruction, or there'll be a lot less obstruction to the Biden presidency and passing what they want, the nominees they want to confirm. I think the two biggest areas for us as traders is, how it's going to really impact trading will be one will be the stimulus checks. What kind of stimulus checks are going to be able to be passed because of this? I think that's going to up the size of the stimulus check. So I think that's going to be bullish for the, just average American worker or person who's been struggling from this. I think that's going to be, of benefit, and that's going to obviously be stimulative to the economy here. The other thing is going to be, if that happens, then I think you're going to see a lot of infrastructure spending. Biden's already talked about spending a fair amount of money in infrastructure. And so if infrastructure is going to be given a big boost, and then who's going to benefit from that? Which types of companies are going to benefit from that? So we're going to talk about that today. So yeah, that's pretty much what I think is going to be big for us as traders. Jake is saying, have I tried trading via desktop? I have not. I kind of like the web version though. I mean, I haven't tried it, so I can't really say, but I've been enjoying the web version. So we'll see. PSTI and honey. You have to help me out with that. I don't see milk and honey. Is that a trade setup you're looking at, Canman? So Canman, just the way we do this here. If you want to look at an instrument, you got to give me instrument, time frame, 1 sentence description, bullish or bearish. If you got to trade in it, then you got to give me entry, stop loss, and take profit, and we'll analyze it. So, but first we're going to cover what's going on in the markets right now. Then I'll look at the stocks that I'm looking at, what I'm looking to trade today for our live trading members. And then we'll go over open Q&A on that. Okay, so let's jump into this. What am I watching today? So for those of you that are new here, we always start off with kind of our Benzinga Pro. This gives us, I use Benzinga Pro very aggressively. It's been such a great trading tool for me. And if you're interested, we can get you a discount. You can only get discounts through affiliates. So let me know if you're interested. We can get you a discount code on like 20, 30% off or something like that. But what I do is it helps me filter out what are the movers for today. So for day trading, I know what I'm looking at basically. Hold on, let me get this zoom here. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, it's a little better. So this way I know what to be filtering out and which stocks to not be paying attention to. So what I'm looking for first off is volume movers. I want to see something that has a minimum 600,000 shares being traded. Then I'm going to compare it to the average volume. Is it way less than the average volume? Is it equal? Is it more? If you think about it, if we have good pre-market volume before the market is open, then that's a good indicator that there's a lot of institutional interest, and it's going to be a mover up or down. And movement is what we want. We need volatility to capture that movement. If it's not moving, it's not good to us. So what we see here is we actually have a decent amount of stocks today. We have Plug, which has been a good stock for us last year. And so Plug is at 665K. Average volume, though, is 34 million. So it's well underneath the average daily volume. So it's not really pushing the envelope a whole lot. Whereas Canopy Growth here, 900K, and average is 6.9 million. So it's about 1.617. So 12 to 15% of average daily volume. That's not bad. That's not bad. And it's up already 11% pre-market. I'm expecting cannabis stocks to also be some of the beneficiaries from, a potential Democratic situation or Democrats taking the Senate, because they have proposed legalizing or decriminalizing, not legalizing. Legalizing would make it available for everybody. They propose decriminalizing it in the House, and that would be very bullish if they were to do that. They posed in the House, the Senate said, which was controlled by Republicans at the time. But if Democrats take the Senate, then there's a greater chance that cannabis stocks are going to get decriminalized federally. So that would be very bullish cannabis stocks. This is some of the beneficiaries from that. Afria, which I think is a medical, I think I don't remember them too much. I haven't traded. I don't think I've traded them before. If I have, it's been a little. They're about 1.1 million shares, and they're about a tenth. So they're decent. They're up 8%, but nothing gangbusters. Hexo is a decent one here. They're about 1/5 average daily volume, and they're up about 11%. But I'm not liking the chart too much. DraftKings, one of my babies from last year. This thing's been gangster. I'm going to definitely swing trade it this year and buy it on some dips. I'll probably hold for the majority of the year. I am a little concerned about DraftKings dipping a little bit once football season ends, which is in a couple months. So we'll see how that plays out. FCEL, I'm long FCEL right now. And that is about a 25th. So 4% of average daily volume. Nothing crazy. So I'll probably look to more swing trade this. Mara, I'm long right now, and it's about an eighth of average daily volume. It's up 5.7%. I'm looking to buy on dips on this one here. We're going to go over TAT. I think this one is trying to build for a little bit of run today. I'm not seeing any positive news on TAT. It's about a tenth of average daily volume. Let's see if there is anything. Any reported, so this is the 5th. Okay, reported signing a new strategic contract to acquire Honeywell. Interesting. So let's see. Can I pop this out? How do I pop it out? Acquire Honeywell's GPC APU rental bank for roughly. Okay. All right. So nothing gangbusters, but decent. Decent. It's up 47%. This might try and make us another run at it, so we'll take a look at that. Tilray, probably going to pass on this one here. ACB, I'm long ACB right now. I think I'm long by stock and options. I like this structure. We're going to take a look at that. And then change. This is a big percent change right here. No pun intended. I think it was because of acquisition. Yeah. Okay. So nothing really to trade there. So let's go ahead and look at this real quick. Let's see. We got some questions. If I use trading scanner, which average volume do I look at? 10, 30, 60, or 90 days? I look at 10 day. Especially if you're day trading, you want to look at 10 day because that's going to tell you what's been, 30, 60. That's a lot of days. That would be more like swing trading. So, Elijah, happy Chris. Hey, Chris, happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. Good to see you. Okay, so let's look at TAT, Hexo, ACB, FCEL. I want to put in CGC in here as well. So let's get them in here. Let's get another trading unit, CGC in here. Okay, so we'll get them in here as well, and we'll put them right with the cannabis stock list. First, let's start off with TAT. If you look at, we're going to start off at the weekly real quick. If you look at this stock on a weekly, there's a couple things that stand out right here. It has this big thrust, but then it lost a lot of the intraday gains and faded and went back to normal or went back to where it started. And that was recently. So there is some concern that we might get a repeat. It's above this. This is the pre-market right here. It's above this. So this could be one of those where it rips early and then it fades. The fact that it's doing it a second time around in the last few months gives it a little bit more of a bullish case, but nothing gangster. And so pre-market is here. If it can get past this, it could have another $1 or $2, maybe up to 9.80 or 10. And if it goes really gangbusters today, then 12.33. So I'm a little I'm a little more hesitant, a little less skeptical on this one here. I do like some of the volume building over the last few minutes. Well, we're 18 minutes of pre-market or to market open. So, I mean, it just had a big rip and then it kind of sold off a huge portion of that. I mean, to go from 5 to 11, it's 100% gain and then lose most of it. It is starting to build a little bit. And so I think it's going to need to clear 806 and then maybe 930 wouldn't be bad. So you do have some of this resistance right here pre-market. So I'm going to watch some of this here. I don't know if I want to buy it right now. It is slowly building, but I like the volume in this one here. it's building recently. So it's not something I would consider super cherry right now. It's not the best structure. To have a corrective structure in the middle of that rip is less of a favorite of mine. So I'm going to move this further down the list. The ones that I'm less interested in, I move further to the right, and the ones that I'm most interested in, I keep to the left. So questionable. I think it needs to build a little bit. I would be interested in fading this potentially at 11. Okay, Hexo. Yeah, nothing gangster on this one here. I'm not too excited on Hexo. Is there any specific news on Hexo? It's a cannabis corp. So granted patent worldwide. That was, yeah, granted patent worldwide. That was industrial scale processing cannabis material. So they might be benefiting from the cannabis stock thing. I'm not crazy about the structure. It doesn't excite me too much. So I'm going to push this way back. If it comes alive, maybe it breaks the pre-market highs. Then I might take a look at that one here. But for now, I'm probably going to pass on this one here. ACB looks a little bit better. So there's a couple structures here that I like about this one. First, on the 5-minute, I really like this jump and then hold. This is an impulsive thrust and then a corrective structure. So it's holding towards the top, unlike, what was that? Was it TAT? Yeah, unlike TAT, which is in the middle of that, this one's holding towards the highs. So it's not fading as much of the gains. Shows a little bit more strength for me. I like how it's been kind of buying off the lows here of the bottom of the corrective structure. So I'm going to want to see this bust out of this and then challenge this and then maybe look for a bigger rip. I wouldn't mind. I'm open to potentially buying the bottom of this corrective structure if it looks good pre-market or once the market opens. Otherwise, there's another play on this one here that I think isn't bad. The 1 hour looks really nice. I like that. That's not bad. Continues to get bought intraday, 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 intraday. So that's solid. VWAP's building, and as you can see, if we zoom out a little bit on the 4 hour, you know, it's kind of broken out of this channel, held the VWAP and has thrusted higher. So I see scope for ACB. I am long ACB via options and the stock itself. So if ACB can break 1254, then in my opinion, I think it can go to 1437 and 1593. This is just my opinion on this here. So again, I'll be posting disclaimer and everything like that in the video here after. But yeah, I am interested in potentially buying on a dip. If we get a dip towards 963, I think that wouldn't be bad. That's where I'm looking to buy. So yeah, 1242. If it can break this, then there's a lot of scope for more upside, in my opinion. So I'm liking ACB the most of all the charts that we've looked at thus far. I like it being a dip a little bit more to the mid nines. But yeah, so far, this is one of the better ones on the list here. CGC Canopy growth here. So weekly's not bad. Suckers had a wild ride. This is 2017, 18, when it had some gangster years. Cannabis stocks in 2017 were just nuts. Peaked in 18. And we are now above this. So we're above the 2020. We are above the 2020 high pre-market. Okay, so where would it get stuck? I can see it getting stuck at 35 here. So we'll mark this resistance here. Possibly 40.31. If it can make it back to 48.98, then that would just be gangster on this one here. That would be very interesting. I do like this short-term structure. Let's see here. Looking at the 1 hour. Yeah, this is a good structure short-term. You know, you have impulsive, corrective, impulsive, counter and corrective pullback, building towards that there. It may try and use 29 and a quarter, maybe 29 as a base. So I will watch 29 there. Otherwise, maybe a dip to weekly VWAP. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on that one there. But I like this one. I would probably be interested in getting long CGC, maybe today or on a decent dip, if we can get a decent dip. So I'm liking this one. Peter Belsis, are you trading safety stocks or regular? I'm trading stocks, not CFDs. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. Anything else I want to say about this? Let's take a look at 5 minute real quick. Yeah, impulsive jump. This is probably from the election. Corrective structure, and then it's continuing to build. So I like this. I like this structure here. And so, yeah, overall, I think this is a solid structure. I will also consider a potential dip to 28.79 in the live session. But volume's building as we get closer and closer to open. I like this overall. I think it's a solid structure. FCEL, very similar structure. Had a counter trend corrective pullback, and now it's busting out of this. So I'm going to be looking for a move potentially to mid 13s. I would like to see a dip towards mid to low 11s if I can, but I like this right now. So yeah, overall, I'm liking this so far. The structure is really good. I think this is going to try and make another run up. I am long FCEL, full disclosure. I don't know if I have options on FCEL, but I know I have stock on this one here. So, looking at the 5 minute, so we have impulsive, corrective, breaks higher, dips to the top of the corrective structure, dips corrective structure, and then thrusts higher. So all very bullish right now. The volume is not, well, let's see what pre-market volume is. FCEL 2.2. So volume right now, pre-market is not gangster. Yeah, it's not biggie or anything like that, but it's decent. And FCEL is one of those kind of millennial stocks that does attract a lot of interest. So again, a very solid stock on this one here. I'm liking this one so far. So we're going to keep this one. Right now, our top 3 in the watch list are ACB, CGC, FCEL. Mara, looking at this one here, I am long Mara on the stock. I don't think I have options right now. I think I closed my options at the end of last year on this one here, but I do have a long stock position on Mara. So full disclosure on that one there. Mara is just ripping. We've been long Mara since, I think we bought it like 267. Then we added at 517 or something like that. We've added along the way, took some profit, bought on the dips again. We bought recently at, I want to say 8 or something like that. And we're also long at like 10 or 11 right now. But this is continuing to build. Is there, I could see Mara running into some trouble around 21 to 23. So it's the base of kind of this whole thing right here. So somewhere between 21 and 24, I could see it running into trouble. I think if it starts to get in the 30s, I would probably want to sell it. But I'll definitely take some profit once we get towards, probably 20 around there. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. But so far, Mara is still strong. It is benefiting from the Bitcoin rally, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Looking at the 1 hour, I am liking this structure right now. The structure is solid for me. So let's kind of recap a few of this here. You have impulsive, corrective, impulsive, corrective, impulsive, corrective, impulsive, bigger corrective structure. So a little bit more profit taking here. And then we have a massive rip towards the end of the year where it goes from 9 up to 14. So almost a 50% gain. Then we get a wide corrective structure here. So this is much more profit taking. This is a greater presence of counter trend players. This is a lot more distribution in the order flow. But after finding a solid base, and you can see right at the top of this peak, base, holds here. So with that being said, it's trying to press out of the top of this corrective structure. If it clears 15, then I think it's got, the line of least resistance is to the upside, and I'll be watching for a move to 20 here. If by some chance it does get down to 10.73 again, 11 or something like that, I will probably be a buyer. That's kind of what I'm watching on this one here. It may want to cycle around in this corrective structure a little bit more, but so far the pressure is building. The last 2 times it got up here, it didn't stay long and it sold off, didn't stay long and it sold off. Here it's floating here a little bit more. It's continuing to hold up there. So you're seeing less profit. When that's happening, you're seeing less profit taking, and you're seeing a greater presence of bulls willing to buy at the higher prices. So that is very bullish. But cherry for me would be to buy a dip around 1080 and or add on a dip. I am long Mara stock. I don't know if I have options right now, but I am long Mara stock on this one here. And so I think I bought this dip, one of these dips into the low 11s. So I think I'm wrong on a long run 11.13 on this one here. So we're up pretty good on that one there. Overall, I think this is another great stock. So now we have 4 really good stocks. We have ACB, CGC, FCEL, MARA, all solid. XME, this is one of those stocks. We've talked about this over and over and over again, not just with our members, but with y'all online, is that we got bullish in early 2020 because we felt that metals and mining infrastructure is going to be a big play. We also felt that they were undervalued. So we had been buying low teens and early 20s. We took profit once we got to 28. We've missed a lot of this since then. Some of our students are still holding XME from like low 20s. So they're just killing it. But if we get a good infrastructure build, then I would expect the XME ETF to continue to benefit from this. And that means, challenging 38 and potentially 40. And if it breaks 40, then that opens up a lot of fresh top sides. So looking at the 1 hour chart on this one here, we have a nice run here, impulsive corrective structure here. I would like to see, give me that. I would like to see a dip back to 33.79, maybe 34 before I get long. That to me, I think would be the better play. I don't want to chase it right now. I think chasing it probably isn't the best play. If it's going to open around 36, then I might consider buying around 34.80 or 34.50 or something like that. But I'd really like to see a dip towards 34 before getting long on this one here. So this is my infrastructure play on this one here. Mossadegh Hassan IDX. So Mossadegh Hassan, the rule is if you want to look at a instrument, you got to give me instrument, time frame, 1 sentence description, bullish or bearish. If you're in the trade, entry, stop loss, and take profit. John Hunter is saying, what do you think of the future of XRP? Is it a good investment in crypto in general? I think crypto is a good investment. I am not a fan of XRP. If I am correct, XRP is the symbol for Ripple. If that's the case, Ripple is under federal investigation right now. So I am not a fan of that right now. That's not the time to be investing. Yeah. So yeah, stay away from anything other than Bitcoin ETH. Yeah, it operates different from I haven't spent too much time researching it, but from what I understand, it operates in a different fashion than Bitcoin and Ethereum. I feel like if you're going to trade crypto, you want to stay with the stable ones. I prefer, instead of trading Bitcoin directly, especially since it's so expensive at 35K, I'm trading it via GBTC. We are trading it via GBTC. This is how we're trading it. We've been talking about this for months now. And sharing with our members that we prefer being long GBTC. It's a regulated instrument. It's a Bitcoin trust, and it tracks the movement of Bitcoin. So let me show you how that works out. Excuse me. So let's do a compare. So candles is the price section of GBTC. Orange line is Bitcoin. It's a trust that's decided to mimic the movements of Bitcoin. It's where, from my understanding and from what I've seen, it's where a lot of the large institutional players are trading directly. If you think about it, if you have $500 million that you want to invest into an instrument, are you going to put it into Bitcoin where you could lose your digital wallet and thus lose access to that 500 million? Or are you going to put it into a regulated instrument? I'm going to put it in a regulated instrument. So this is how I prefer trading it, is GBTC. So let's take this off. We are long GBTC. We don't have options. I don't even know if you can do options on GBTC. I don't think there is options on GBTC as far as I can tell, but we are long, and I'm going to hold this one for quite a while. I plan on being long crypto for a good portion of this year. If BTC USD gets to 50K, 100K, then I might start looking to take profit on my GBTC position. But right now, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and this Bitcoin and Ethereum last year, my major plays for the year was DKNG. I held that one for a pretty good amount of time, almost 6 months. We bought in the low 20s and then we sold out in the 50s. So we did pretty well on that one there. I feel like so far this year, in terms of, there's definitely some trades that I'm going to hold for months and months and months. I believe Bitcoin is one of them. So I feel very strongly about crypto right now. So yeah. What FinCEN want to do with crypto? I don't know. Is FinCEN, I'm guessing that's a European. John Hunter, in terms of Victor, why is it a scam? Just start doing the research on it, John. Start doing the research on Ripple. They're under investigation. So yeah. Start and look at the data. Just go check out YouTube, go do the research on it. So yeah. Okay. So GBTC, let's take a look at it's just this thing's just gone gangbusters. Absolute gangbusters. If it dips, where would I like to add? Probably 33.40. This isn't bad here. That's not a bad area right there. If I could get to 32, I'd be okay to add there. May consider adding at 36.58. But right now, this is just hot. Bitcoin is just hot. And I can see Bitcoin continuing to benefit from the Biden presidency. Right now, excuse me. Right now, the dollar is just getting hammered. That was one of our big predictions for late last year, and that's panned out. I think dollar is going to continue to be under pressure this year. I think Bitcoin is going to be one of the stronger investments for 2021. Hard to believe we're here already. So, yeah. So that's pretty much it. Joker saying U.S. financial intelligence. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what they want to do with it. That's the market open right there. So I got to get going for live trading with the members. But I think you're going to continue to see more and more regulation in the crypto space. And I think more regulation is good. It levels the playing field. It reduces the chance that you're going to get a lot of scammy or unscrupulous behavior, and I think that will be great for it. Just like I think regulation will be great for the medical cannabis industry, I think it's going to be great for crypto as well. So I'm very bullish on both of those. Yeah. Anything else that we want to cover? I want to buy Bitcoin. I was hoping for a bearish correction now. Is that realistic? I mean, if you look at the price section, John, do you see any correction? And do you see any, right now? It is just going parabolic right now. I don't know when it's going to end. I don't see anything in the price section right now that tells me that the crypto run's going to end. So right now, if it's continuing to run, I'm going to continue to buy it. If I see anything in the structure, we'll talk about it with our live members or the next week if I see it in that time when we do our live session on YouTube. Normally we do this on Tuesday, but I was off Monday, Tuesday for holidays. So I've been off trading. Gosh, I've been off trading since the 18th. So yeah, this is my first full day back, but I don't see anything right now. So next week we'll be back on Tuesday. We'll cover it then. So that's pretty much it. Okay. I got to get going for live trading for the trading masterclass members. That's pretty much it. So I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Just to recap, we're going to be watching ACB, CGC, FCEL, and MARA, and then XME. GBTC, obviously, those are all hot ones that we're watching for today. So I'm going to switch over to live trading with our members right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this session. I look forward to your feedback on this. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it and if you got any good trade ideas out of it. We'll be posting our disclaimer in the description later today. And then we'll be, so I will see you guys next week for the live session on Tuesday. Take care, everyone. Be well. Good luck trading, and I'll see you then.